Hey yo, this is another video, so let's go. All right, I'm gonna get right into the notes. This video is actually about Avatar: The Way of Water. Okay, and they spoke on a word called Amrita. And let's go ahead and get right to it. The source is Wikipedia. I'm gonna do is read everything, all the notes that I took after I watched the film on the film. After I watched the film, then what I'm gonna do is read all the notes that I took. And once I read all the notes, I'm going to give you an overview of everything and what it actually really means. All right, let's go. Amrita is Sanskrit. Amarta, Amrit, Amata. In Pali, it's Sudha, Amiya, Ami. Amrita is a Sanskrit word that means immortality. It is a central concept within Indian religions and is often referred to in ancient Indian texts as elixir. We are highly melanated people, so-called black people, are the only ancient people on the planet. Let's get that out of the way. We created all mythologies. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Ancient Indian text as an elixir. Elixir or elixir of life is also known as elixir of immortality. Is a potion that supposedly grants the drinker eternal life and or eternal youth. This elixir was also said to cure all diseases. Alchemists in various ages and cultures sought the means of formulating the elixir. Its first occurrence is in the Rig Veda. Rig Veda or Rig Veda. Rig means praise and Veda means knowledge, where it is considered one of several synonyms for Soma. Soma is a ritual drink of importance among the early or ancient Vedic Indo-Aryans. The text Soma Mandala Gita mentions the drink in chapter 9. So that's a text right there. Soma Mandala Gita. It describes the preparation of Soma by means of extracting the juice from a plant. Chloroplast. So when I saw the word plant, I started saying, I remember in science, let's go back and find what these words mean in the plant life. Chloroplast, the photosynthetic pigment. Now, quickly, the word, when you see the word plant, when I'm reading, look at yourself as the plant. And remember, plants have melanin too. And these are words of melanin. Chloroplast or cytoplasm. All right. Remember, plasma is like blood. All right. Chloroplast, the photosynthetic pigment. Chlorophyll captures the energy from sunlight. Remember, sunlight it actually helps us and it kills our enemy. Okay, that's a good thing. So, energy from sunlight converts it and stores it in the energy storage molecules ATP and NADPH, while freeing oxygen from water in the cells. ATP, let's see, ATP and NADPH is then ATP and NADPH is then used to make organic molecules from carbon dioxide in a process known as the Calvin cycle. Okay. Fatty acid synthesis, amino acids synthesis, and the immune response in plants. You can find in unicellular algae, Arabidopsis, and wheat. That means it's high in melanin. Algae and wheat, those are high forms of melanin. Okay, let's keep going in your foods. In other words, high in melanin. Cytoplasm in the plant cell aids with the suspension of organelles, support of cell internal structure, as well as helps the plant cell maintain its shape. The identity of the plant is now unknown and debated among scholars. That means what they're trying to do is hide to you what the real meaning of where they get Amrita from. They're talking about they've been killing highly melanated people, so-called black people, all around the country, all around the world, and getting their melanin from them. That's all they're saying. That's why I said, look at yourself as the plant life. Remember that. Notice how there's less and less so-called black people down here. Okay, let's keep going. The drink of the Devas, sky people. That's what they called them in the movie Avatar: The Way of Water. They call them the sky people. So those are looked at as the gods. Just because something is called a god doesn't mean it's good. Before the word God, there was the word a deity. The word deity, D-E-I-T-Y. So that word came before the word God. So that means, as highly melanated people, they want you to give your worship and your praise and your energy to the gods. And let me show you why. I'm gonna keep reading. Devas, shiny, exalted, heavenly beings. Divine being, anything of excellence. Deva is a masculine and Devi is feminine. Amrita plays a significant role in the Samudra Manthana. Samudra Manthana is a major episode in Hinduism, a major text of Hinduism. Samudra Manthana explains the origin of the elixir of eternal life, Amrita, and is the cause of the conflict between Devas and Asuras, competing for Amrita to obtain immortality. See, now is the cause of the conflict between Devas and Asuras, competing for Amrita to obtain immortality. That means they're doing is so-called God, is a coward. What's going to do is fight with the so-called demons or the lower beings in order for it to rule or get your melanin. Okay, pay attention. So you can obtain immortality. Asuras, described as power-seeking clans, and they call them clans in the movie too also, related to more benevolent devas, compared to more benevolent devas, is a titan, demigod, or anti-god. Asuras are in constant battle with the devas, described as superhuman demigods with good or bad qualities. Good Asuras are called Adityas and are led by Varuna. So-called bad Asuras are called Danavas and are led by Verita. Asuras compete against these devas and are considered enemy of the gods. Yakshas are nature spirits. Rakshas are fierce man-eating beings or demons. Bhutas are ghosts. The Kini is a female demoness that feeds on human's flesh. Daka Gana is a male demon. Ganas or Gana, Devi or Devatas, troops of deities, attendants of Shiva. Nagas, like I said, oh, what's up, my nigga? Or Negus, Inger, Nagas, the same thing. Those are snakes. That's why you see Shiva with the cobra on his left hand, right? Okay. That means highly melanated people. When we call each other that, that means we're the snake people. Why did St. Patrick kill off all the snakes in Ireland? It was a double talk term. He was killing all the black people off of Ireland, all the pygmies. They did the same thing in Australia, and they're doing it today, just in a more subtle way. All right. Let me see. Where are we? They're in constant battle. Described as okay. Okay, we're already here. Okay, fierce man-eating demons, beings or demons. Bhutas is a ghost. Dakini is a female demoness that feeds on human flesh. The Daka Gana is a male demon. Ganas or Gana, Devatas, troops of deities, attendants of Shiva. Nagas, Panis, Pishakas, Pretas, Rakshasas, Riksha, Saparna, Vanara, Vetala. Yakshini is the female. Yakshini is a female. Yaksha is male. They are nature spirits. Vidyadhara is a male. Vidyadhari is a female. And they both of those have magical powers. Ahembraga, Kalas, destructive side of Shiva. Now the Kalas, those are coming towards the woman's cycle. When you see them get towards the darker and the darker blood towards her cycle, they call the Kalas, Ganas. Those are different versions of the deities that you're actually getting when you're having sex, when you get closer to her cycle. And it's not a bad thing to have sex with your woman while she's on her cycle or her period. Okay, let's keep going. Well, society or the white people, they'll tell you that because what? They don't receive those powers. They don't receive that in their women. All right? Why do you think they're going towards all the so-called black women, highly melanated women now? All right, let's keep going. Kirtum Muka. Those are the three monsters. Ahemmerga, Kala, and Kirtim Muka. Those are the three monsters, okay? And it's supposedly, that's the crazy part, that's dealing with what? Sex. Sex can bring out the monster in you. He's like, oh man, you different when you drink that dark liquor. Cause remember, the liquor goes to your lower self. Let me keep going. I don't want to waste any time. I have a limited amount of time. I want to explain all this so y'all get a full comprehensive understanding of it. What's going on with this? Amrita is cognate to Ambrosia. Ambrosia is melanin, the Greek word for melanin. There are over 1,000 names for Amrita, or 1,000 names for melanin throughout the world. Further research, all right? Further research, the Alchemist, right? Now check this out. I give my what do you call it? My sources. That way you can go behind and go behind this situation and go do your research too. Also, if you're looking for this book, you can go find it too, by Paulo Coelho. Okay. He was born in Rio de Janeiro, and there's a lot of so-called black people, highly melanated people in Brazil. They just don't want to tell you that. We all over the world. They don't want to tell us. All right, let's keep it going. So as you can see, all right, the brother, he looks it from what I can see in the pictures, a black and white picture, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, but anyway. All what I'm trying to tell you is they'll put information in certain type of novels. It's just up to you to decode it. I learned that from Bobby Hemmett also. All right, further research, like I just showed you the source. All right, Further research, The Alchemist. If a metal were heated for, if a metal were heated for years, it would free itself of all its individual properties. Now that means what? Losing a physical body. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's keep going. All right. If you heat a metal for years, it would free itself of all its individual properties. And what was left would be the soul of the world. The soul. Highly melanated people, we have souls. Nobody else in the world does. Everything in the world has a spirit, but we have souls. Soul brother, soul sister, let's keep it going. This soul of the world allowed them to understand anything on the face of the earth, because it was the language with all things communicated. The alchemists called that discovery the master work. It was part liquid and part solid. The liquid is what? The blood, or there's no such thing as blood, is blood cells, and your melanin is clear. Until it hits the air, it turns red. The liquid and the solid part. So like they say, the body will leave over when the metal's been heated, right? And then what? The solid part, I'm gonna get to that right now. The liquid part of the masterwork was called the Elixir of Life, which is what? Amrita, the melanin. And it cured all illnesses. It also kept the alchemists from growing old. They say, what they say, black don't crack? Okay then. And why do white people look so old so young? Okay, let's keep it going. Keep it going. And the solid part was called what? The Philosopher's Stone. That's what? The pineal gland. White people all around the world don't have a pineal gland. Highly melanated people have a pineal gland. That's the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone has a fascinating property. A small silver of the stone can transform large quantities of metal into gold. It's only those who are persistent and willing to study things deeply who achieve the masterwork. So that was my further research. You can find that little section from page 83 to 85 in the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? So I was doing my studies, and I remembered I had this book, and I was just reading, and that came across when I was reading. I put this in my notes, and I was about to end of me making the notes. That's why I said further research, and it came right when it came. The ancestors gave me a jewel to put in the information, so you can see it in black and white too. 18 is Ma'at, but it's also the number for Aset or Isis. Okay, but let's keep going. So what I'm gonna do is explain. So in the film, when they had killed one of the avatars, the sea people's avatars, the sea people, she had an animal kindred spirit that the sky people, or people that was from the spaceships that came down there, they had killed a whale. That was her animal sister, and an animal spirit sister, and then they had killed it, and she had just had a small baby whale from what it looked like. And the female avatar, she was actually pregnant, and she was crying so much. And they you can see them. They showed them bonding before they killed the whale. And when they found out, the guy in the movie, he was like, let's kill one of these. They killed it, right? And so when they killed the whale in the film, what they did was, the guy, he had asked, said, we got to take, he's like, what would it be for you to actually leave the body? And the guy, he looked, and he was just standing there for like 3 or 4 seconds. He said, well, we don't leave any parts. That's going to actually cost you more. So So what they were saying is they don't leave the parts of humans or so-called black people or so-called black people or highly melanated people. They take all the parts and use them. You can find a lot of melanin in your armpits, inside the skull, the base of the skull, in between the scrotum. Those are high forms of melanin. So in those different areas. That's why he said we don't leave any parts. That's why you got to look at everything they're talking about in that film as they are talking about so-called black people or highly melanated people, because they actually are talking about you. It's just in another format. Okay. Okay. So when he said they take the nectar is what? The elixir. They had extracted it from that well, and they showed it was gold. Remember, he said you're supposed to, I read to you, you're supposed to create gold. When you're supposed to create gold, that means they extracted the melanin from in the inside of the mind. That's why they zoomed in on like the brain of that well, and they extracted it from the middle of the brain, which is what? The pineal gland. When they extracted it and put it in a vial, they said this is worth so much money. Why do you think they had did that? They don't do that for no reason. They have to, the ancestors, they make these people make these movies in order for us to get it. If we don't get it, it's on us. So, all right. So when they did that, and he asked them, what do you do with the parts? And he didn't say. He said all he said was, it's going to cost you more if we leave it out here. So the reason why they left the parts, because they wanted to see people that they killed it, and they were looking for the guy that was once like a Marine, and he converted into an avatar in the first film, and they were looking for him. So they were saying, if you don't give him to us, we're going to keep killing. So that was like a signal they had left for him. So when I got that little, that's like maybe like a 5 to 10 minute scene in a movie. It's so much involved into that part of that movie, but that you just really have to pay attention. And they said it so quick. He said, "What is this?" And the guy, he said, "What is this gold? This substance? This is called Amrita." I know what this is called. So when I said, "Let me go ahead and get all the information I can get and put it to the people, highly melanated people, so-called black people, so we can get it." And when we get the information, they'll be like, "Huh, okay." So that's what they're doing. They've been doing it for years. They've been doing that for years. It's just that now we get to see it in a movie format. Okay, so when I gave you all those different names or those attributes of the Devas and Asuras, so I'm with the Asuras. I don't fuck with the Devas at all. You know what I'm saying? The Devas, they're actually hold us down. What does God say in the Bible? He said, "Thou shalt have no other God before me." And he said, but why would he be a jealous God? He's a jealous God because he don't want you to raise yourself up. If you don't raise yourself up, you are the one that fell down here. You're as highly melanated people and so-called black people, we're the Asuras because we fell down into a physical body. So we fell into a physical body. That means we got to raise ourselves up just like Lucifer did, Prometheus, in Greek mythology. Satan had to fall. He said, why did he get kicked out of heaven? And wasn't he like one of the best musicians or singers, and he kicked him out? Well, now what did the Sufis say in past times, in old times? The Sufis, that means woolly haired one. They said, the Sufis said it's not going to be a religion that changes the world. It's going to be music. Now look at all the rappers getting killed off one by one. Look at all the rappers that's getting killed off because they have the opportunity and chance to actually change the minds of the people, of highly melanated people, so-called black people. But not only that, but to raise the energy. If you raise the energy to where everybody's enjoying the music and dancing and all this, you raise the energy around the world. And if you raise the energy, what I had read earlier is to heat metals out of the book, The Alchemist. Let me read this again. Hold up, if I can find it. Hold on, here it is. Okay. The Alchemist. If a metal were heated for many years, it would free itself of all its individual properties, and what was left would be the soul of the world. So if that's the case, now have you ever heard of combustion? Like damn near happens with white people because they have the heat has nowhere to go. The heat they don't have a pineal gland. That's why they took off Jimi Hendrix. He was causing a chaos to where white people were just losing their mind, going crazy with the music. You know what I'm saying? They were going crazy. But that's the thing, it's madness, a chaos. Chaos is melanin. But when you don't have a pineal gland, where does it go? It goes back into the physical body, and it's flammable combustion. That's what that is. They have to keep killing highly melanated people, so-called black people, in order for them to be able to survive and even live around us. So if as highly melanated people, so-called black people, if they're doing this to our artists, now what does that leave us? We keep losing. But it's going to take it. It's going to have to take that energy from behind the music is what's going to have to take everything to get to where we got to get to. Now, so those Asuras, that's what we are. I have a video speaking on that. We are the Asuras as highly melanated people, so-called black people, because we had to fall into a physical body. You come from your father's brain, that's brain fluid. You go down the spine, Jacob's ladder. You go down through the spine, the jet pillar, and then you go through the penis, which when it gets erect or hard, that's connected to the spine, and then when it is able to slide through the ball sack, and there's a liquid that the ball sack creates around the brain fluid to protect it to get to the egg. So that's why they call the female the earth and the gods in the earth. Fuck being a god, I'm a deity, because a god doesn't want us to raise ourselves up. I see it in my everyday life. I know what's going on. A lot of people don't know. They keep giving their energy and praise and worship in these churches to someone that don't even like you or even give a damn about you. So while these people are in the church, that's what God does. It extracts the energy for the Devas. You have to look at it. That's why when Bobby Hemmett said, looking at different forms of mythology, because it's broken up and fractionalized in different formats. So all those different pieces are helping you putting things back together. I mean, you putting your soul back together. The physical body is going to deteriorate. It gets old, but your mind and your soul is forever. So that's why in one of my last videos I said you'll be having, like, if you're having sex and you're not releasing or ejaculating, to the point where if you do it so much, you won't even know if you're in your physical body or not. All you start seeing is the change around you. And the more you start seeing the things that go against you, that means God is against you. He'll use the police, the fire department, the hospitals, Masons, the new school of Masons, where they use different people that use these they'll make up rituals. God will give these people rituals to go against people like me, or you know what I'm saying, that's doing the actual work to raise themselves up, and then giving information to help y'all raise yourself up and learn certain things or information. So if we can stop a person like me, that means the people that's listening to this, they won't get the information. Then it'll be a continual cycle. But remember, the cycle of reincarnation is over. So if it's over, that means what? The energy is staying here. Because you know what they're doing in hospitals now? You gotta be, if you're having children, you know that's not a good thing to have children anymore. I'm gonna tell you that now. You know why? Because when they give the woman the epidural, that's what it's called, the epidural. What they're doing is they can exchange out the child without you knowing. If you're not very aware while you're in that hospital with your woman, they can actually switch out the child without you even knowing. They'll give you another version they want to give you. Ashe, I just saw a very good sign. They can give you another version of the child that they made, and it'll look just like that child. Because when they got the epidural, they shot it to her back, through her spine to hit the baby. And when it hit the baby, they took the DNA from that baby, and that baby that had the DNA that they took, they can make a new baby and give you that baby. If you in that hospital room the whole time, now you think that's your child, you got an android on you or something, and then you go home with that. That's why they say the reincarnation process is over. There's no more reincarnation. There is none. So I'm telling you now, at a certain time period, that shit got cut off. So as highly melanated people, have a birth inside your own home, and don't give them shots and shit. If that's on you, if you want to do that. But I'm just letting you know what the ancestors gave me through information that's gathered, because they can see things that we can't see physically. That's why they give us certain information, like telepathically or psychically, and it's up to us to do the right thing. But if we ain't gonna do the right thing, we gonna forever lose. So that's why I always say God ain't shit. Fuck God. You know what I'm talking about? God don't love highly melanated people, because every time we step inside that church, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. That's your ass. So all the people that want to be in the church, don't try to save them. Save yourself. And when you save yourself, they can see the work. They can see manifestation through you. You can't be out here you're gonna be wasting your time. It ain't about the masses, because the masses, all they're gonna do is just die. So I'm gonna just tell you, it's gonna be a select few, not to be big-headed. It's the real shit, because the ancestors will give it to you for you to do something with it, and not to waste your time. All right, so that's the end of this video. Kill God. God doesn't love highly melanated people, because he hates them.